they don't really get it. You know, I'm starting to talk about it, and motherfuckers are like, "Nah, man, you should really look into the stock market, bro." And I'm like, you don't even know what you're talking about, bro. Like, have you seen the gains people have made? 25-year-olds, 28-year-olds are retired right now, bro. Like, retired for life. Can you imagine? Like, dudes don't retire till they're 65, 75, and
Yeah.
motherfuckers retiring before 30. Like,
They're
this
like,
is
"Hey, dude, do you want to go out to dinner this weekend?" I'm like, "Nah, bro, I gotta fill my bag so I can get that Pulsechain copy." And they're like, "What the fuck did he just say?"
yeah, dog. Like, yo, it's like a foreign language to them. And I used to be that guy. Like, you know, if you told me about Pulsechain, I'd be like, what are you talking about? But now it's like this shit is so like it's becoming a second language, and I'm just happy that I'm here now before it's too late. I don't want to miss this next bull run.
think it's cool that you brought up the a lot of people have mentioned like the scammer sort of like some people just take him that way. But isn't it interesting that it's always kind of like the opposite? Like the guys who've actually done the most wrong are like the SBFs and Do Kwons, the guys
Yeah.
who just like walk around in sweatpants and t-shirts. And then
Oh,
you get a guy wearing a Rolex Daytona saying, "I don't need your money. I'm already rich." And people are like, "What a scammer." And it's like, dude, I don't even know how to explain it to him. It's like, ooh, kind
that's
of a
why
bad look.
it takes a certain like type of person to see through the bullshit, and I could see through it all. Like, I'm like, yo, this dude is not a bad person. Like, you know, any like typical average intelligence person will look at Richard Hart and be like, dude, clearly he's scamming. He's taking all your money. He's buying expensive shit with it. But you know, if you look past that shit, you can see clearly this guy's on a mission. He's doing whatever he can to bring awareness to everything that's going on. And it takes doing stuff like that, you know, like he's trying to attract people with big bags, and they get turned on when they see like Rolexes and Prada boots. And I mean, that's like, again, like if it wasn't for his swag, I don't even know if I would have jumped into this whole thing. You know,
Yeah.
that shit turned me on.
Well, what's crazy is so many people got rich. Now he doesn't even have to buy the stuff. Did you see
Hmm.
that video on YouTube about the guy who got who commissioned that hex diamond pendant?
No, I didn't see that. What's that
Yeah,
about?
he didn't even buy that. Some dude in the community. Yeah, go YouTube it. It's I
Oh
think it's
shit.
called Bobby White. There's a
Okay.
whole video of this jeweler in London who made that. It's all like custom,
Bro.
VVS diamonds and stuff like that. Some guy just had it made and then gave it to Richard as like a
Yeah,
gift.
that
And
was
it's like
Bro.
this dude's wearing money he doesn't even have
that
to
was Hex
buy.
Toys. He's the one that gifted it to him.
Do
One
you have
thing,
yeah.
whatever the masses are saying, I don't care if it's in the
Hmm.
hex community or what community it's in, whatever the masses are saying, if you walk the other way, you're probably going to be in pretty good shape for the most part.
Can
There's some things that are, set in stone. We know buying and holding works.
right.
We know that. My whole thing is I'm just not going to do anything when Pulse Chain drops.
Hmm.
I'm in a privileged position because I sack for
Hmm.
everything. But
Hmm.
I was listening to y'all earlier talk about strategies, and this is not financial advice, but the best strategy I've found for anything is just a DCA with new money.
Yeah. Facts.
DCA with new money, and this again, not financial advice. Y'all do whatever you want. You want a ratio trade, do whatever you want. It's none of my business. But I think
Right.
DCAing weekly, because waiting for that dip, man, it's hard to
Hmm.
catch the low when you're waiting for the
Yeah.
low. That happened to a lot of people in Hex. Hex is four
Right.
cents. Oh, I'm going to buy if it goes down to two. Oh, it goes down to two. I'm going to buy when it goes down to one. And never got there. Oops. That
Right.
keeps a lot of people from buying if that's your
Oops.
strategy. But if you date DCA, you'll eventually catch the bottom, guaranteed.
Right.
You're DCN once a
Right.
week, you're going to get really close. So that would be my only non-financial advice with this, because it's going to be a nutty. I don't even think I'm ready for the 6 months that's
Man.
coming. It's going to be Insanityville,
Yeah.
Insanityville. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for us to
Um.
keep our heads, because I know 90% of us, if it wasn't for staking, we'd be out. We would not be in Hex. Guaranteed. Staking
Mhm.
saved my ass and trained me. Pulse Chain and Pulsex, there's no locking up your dough. There's no protection. So it's going to be weird. The lucky part is we got a lot of buyers waiting to eat that up.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting.
I mean, Richard was a genius for putting us all together, man. Like making this community. Like I don't see anybody touching us in crypto, bro. Like this is a one of a kind thing, man. And we're all very like privileged and lucky to be here. You know, this. I don't see this happening again. Like Hexicans are something to. Oh my God, I don't even know the words, man. I don't even know the words. I'm just excited.
Yeah, man, I agree with you, and I agree with Danny a lot too on the whole strategy thing, bro. I think you're right. I think we're just everybody's over speculating, including me. You know, like
Yeah.
it's fun. It's fun to speculate, but at the end of the day, dude, I'm probably gonna do nothing. You know what I mean? I'm probably not gonna do anything, bro. I'm just gonna leave it there, and that's been working really for me too. So I'm
Yeah.
probably gonna keep doing that.
And, and, and yeah, you don't want to make a mistake, man. Definitely double check everything you do. I made a mistake in V3. Like I thought I was getting back. I swapped like 100,000 hex to get some like 300. I thought I was getting 300 million Pulsex, which was really 30 million. So just one mistake, I miscounted my zeros, and I mean I wouldn't say I got wrecked, but it's like I didn't get what I thought I was getting. So yeah, definitely when Mainnet launches, be careful and triple check everything. And like you said, the best thing probably is to do nothing. You know, just do nothing and bring in fresh capital. Need those fucking commas, man. I'm glad it was testnet where I was able to get out all the kinks and learn what I could potentially do to fuck up. But mainnet, I'm gonna be way more cautious.
Well, I kind of I
Wes,
kind of understand the ratio trading conversations, because unless something's changed, I don't think the bridge will open for 24 to 48 hours. Anybody know anything different on that? Because
I know that, yeah, that was they said that in the beginning. I don't know if that's still the case, but yeah, they said 24 to
yeah,
48
so if that's still
hours.
the case, we're going to be sitting there,
Hmm.
waiting on liquidity. It's just going to be a big waiting game, and it's going to be the longest 24 to 48 hours of some people's lives. I don't even know if I
Yeah.
want to look at the motherfucker. I think I'll have to, but if I can somehow get a force of will just to say pulse chain drop and just get off Twitter for 2 days, that would be the maximum 100% best case scenario for me. But I just don't think I can do it. I'm too much of a weak-willed peckerhead. So
Danny,
we'll see
that's
what
gonna be the
happens.
thing where you look at it
Shit.
and you're like, all right, I'm not gonna mess with it. And then like on the last hour of the last day, you're like, damn, the ratio is perfect, and you're gonna pull the trigger. You know what I mean?
I was talking to my buddy about it. I was like, well, damn, I mean, if there's a ratio that hex is way up here and pulse chain is way down there, then I'll just swap all of it. And I caught myself mid-sentence going, what are you even saying? Just shut the fuck up for 2 seconds. Just don't do anything, please, no matter how tempting it is. It's just going to be
What do you guys
sick.
What do you guys think Hex is going to in the bull, on top of the bull? Like, what's the number?
$5.56.
I'm saying
$5.56. 100,000 next. Let's go.
56 cents. $5 man.
I think, man, like, we're at almost 10 cents, and like if you compare it to what it's done before, I mean, $1 is FUD. That's what I like to say.
Yeah,
I don't really know how high it's gonna go, but it's like, I don't really plan to do anything with my hex for a while. So I'm kind of like, it can go pretty high, and I know the rest of the ecosystem will go up too. And like if you have like hedron, icosa, like it's tied to the hex price pretty much. Like or not the hex price, but the hex T share. So
Right.
it's like that's kind of the bag I'm looking to liquidate first before hex, just because hex is so strong, and like pulse chain is built for hex. So like if I'm ever gonna make a move with my hex, it'll be the last one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's gonna surprise people, bro. I think it's really gonna surprise people.
Yeah.
Dude. I mean, like, people give their conservative price predictions, but I feel like in the bull markets, they always go past what people's conservative thoughts are. So, people, like you said, $1 would be FUD, and dude, like $5 is definitely on the table to me. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
we'll
would
see.
say $1.50 to $5, but to me, that's like normal bull market. More people know about hex. The thing that I can't really like quantify right now is all these compounding effects of like, you've got the documentary, you've got like Pulse Chain and Pulsex, so now you have these other coins that like also attribute to it. Like people are going to come out of left field and they're going to be on the news and they're like, where did Hex even come from? And why is it number 4 on the list? Like, how come nobody told us about this? And all of a sudden you know what I mean? Like it gets like really crazy. And that's where the 1 to 5 could turn to like 50. And it's like, oh shit. And don't forget, Bitcoin's second bull market run was nuts. It like shot up to, Like they think it topped at X, and then it did another 10X from there. Like it did like a double crazy thing. So
Bro,
that could happen with Hex too.
You're talking my language. See, that's the thought that I have. Motherfuckers think, oh man, it might get to $2. I'm like, nah, bro, something's gonna happen. There's too many eyes on this Hex shit right now. There's no way. Like, dude, I wouldn't, like, if it went to $50, I'm not gonna be surprised. I'm not. I'm gonna be like, well, shit, like, I was almost expecting more than $5. You know what I'm saying? But just to be conservative, I'm saying 5. But this shit could be 10, 12, $20 at some point, guys. Like, not even trying to hopium, but just be prepared. You never know.
I mean, it's really looking like a bunch of people want Pulsechain. And it does also, you can speculate that influencers will be talking about it quite a bit because several influencers sacrifice for it. So it's in their best interest to talk about it, and they have huge followings. So if people buy Pulsechain, I've always thought, and I could be wrong, that they're going to buy Hex too at some point once they're in Pulsechain. And that's where the, then you just put Metcalfe's law to it. What number of X's does the Hex community jump to?
Well, Danny,
so that's where it could all the go people nuts. Who say, I don't know though. I just don't know. It's interesting.
Danny, to me, like when Pulsechain finally goes mainnet, that immediately invalidates all of the, Hex is a scam, Ponzi, all that shit is immediately over because now we have an actual layer 1 that is competing or enhancing whatever you want to call it with Ethereum. And so all of like he's a scammer. This coin has no utility. Well, then why are you buying Pulsechain? If you don't like him, you shouldn't be buying Pulsechain either. So that immediately gets invalidated. So what's left? Well, the price chart. Well, oh shit, the price chart's insane. Now you got to buy it, right? So I'm the same thing. Like once Pulsechain launches, to me, the gates open even more for Hex because you can't really call it a scam or a Ponzi anymore because it's by the same guy.
Well, I mean, people will, but it won't even matter. It won't matter. I mean, we know it's. I believe it's not. But correct me if I'm wrong on this. Did Richard not build Pulsechain for the sole purpose of Hex to have a place to live? And is this not the first time this has ever happened in crypto? Or am I missing something? Has anybody else built a chain just for one token? There's going to be other tokens on it, but that was really the reason because of the impossible ETH fees. People were trying to end stake, and they couldn't. So it was costing them more to end stake than their stake was worth. And that's what pivoted to Pulsechain. So this chain is built directly for Hex. That's what's always been interesting to me. It's like, it's kind of an experiment.
We're gonna get on some hopium while we're on it. I am looking forward to the day everything comes out, right? People start dumping, EHEX or whatever, and, PHEX goes this way, EX goes the other way. All the FUD around, the OA coins, blah, blah, blah. And Richard has already said, like, he doesn't want cheap hex anywhere. One hex is one hex. And then I'm waiting for the day I go to that liquidity pool and I see 10 billion PHEX and EHEX locked 1-to-1 on the Pulsechain side. And then everybody goes, oh, shit. Like, you want to move that liquidity position? You can come to the table with billions. And, oh, by the way, he dropped 10 billion. He's got another 500 billion hex. So you can move it if you want to try, but he might just drop another 50 billion in the spot. And then one hex really does become one hex. And he could feasibly do this. And there's not really much else to do with that amount of cash. You can't really exit. With the liquidity being the way it is, it would secure the project, it would secure the coin, on both chains. And then as far as like price action, I'm not saying necessarily the price in US dollars would be exactly the same on ETH and Pulsechain because you got to like factor in like gas fees and stuff. So what would happen in that situation is you'd have arbitrage bots who would basically do the calculation to see, oh, I can get EHEX for this. I can bridge it over, swap it 1-to-1 for Pulsex, and then sell the Pulsex, and I can make a profit. But at some point, gas fees and stuff like that and liquidity issues come into play. So there's some like slight deviance. But I could totally see like a huge liquidity 1-to-1 bonding happening, and the price in terms of US dollars between the two on the different chains might be so minimal. It really only takes into account like gas fees, like $3 difference, or if it was like $50, it might be $1 difference, or if it's like $1, it might be like 95 cents versus $1. You know what I mean? Like something very small or marginal.
Look, this is my type of hopium. Keep going, baby.
Dude, this is the stuff I be wanting to say, but I don't want to look and sound crazy. You know what I'm saying? If I say this shit, motherfuckers will go, what are you talking about, bro? But I hit you with the follow, man. I'm like, yeah, we got to talk, man, because you're on the same wavelength as me. Like, this shit's going to blow people's thoughts out of the water, man. I don't think people really realize what's going on here. I could be out of my mind, but I don't know, guys. I got a feeling in my stomach we're on something that we don't even realize that we're on. Like this could be real life changing stuff, man. So, oh man, I just appreciate being
Hey,
here.
remember though, you got to hold, guys. Don't sell your whole bag.
Mm-hmm.
Don't sell your whole bag. Try not to sell your
Mm-hmm.
whole bag. That's really the lesson here.
Facts.
Yeah, and if you hit the end stake button, you're probably gonna lose hex. I tried it out when I first got into hex, and you're gonna lose it. So I lost like 30,000 hex when I was like, well, let me try this out. Let me see if this is legit, and then bam, lost 30,000 hex. So
Oh shit!
like don't be doing shit like that. Just play it safe. But yeah, I learned
Man,
the hard way,
if
man.
you hadn't lost crypto, you ain't even in crypto, bro. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it. Shit.
true. That's true.
But yeah, man, I love the hopium talk too, bro. Like I think about it all day.
No, I just want to say, like, I think what people are underestimating is, other than price with Hex, is how much Richard loves to be right. How much he loves to be right, and how much he loves to show off the chart.
Bingo.
And that's what I think. Like everyone is not even paying attention to, because he loves to bring up Hex versus ETH, Hex versus Bitcoin. And we see that right now it's underperforming. And I can just imagine when Pulsechain launches, he's going to start bragging how Hex is going to be outperforming Bitcoin or Ethereum. And if you look at the chart, it's, man, put those numbers together.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to count the X's right now from this point.
Dude, you're absolutely right, and that's what people are sleeping on. Like, this guy doesn't like to be wrong. I don't know about you guys. I've never seen Richard wrong. The only time maybe you could say he was wrong was about launching Pulsechain last mid-May, but it wasn't even his fault. You could blame it on the devs. But the dude's almost never wrong, and I think people are sleeping on that. This guy's different, you know.
Blame it on the devs.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, different, bro. Like,
funny, bro.
Elon Musk is a dope dude. Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, but there's something about Richard Hart, bro. This guy is just a different animal, and he's like the Steve Jobs of crypto, and I think he's going to get his respect this year, this next bull run. I think this guy's going to be, oh my God, I can't even believe he's not like a phenomenon yet, you know? I'm sure everyone here feels the same way. If you've watched a Richard Hart interview, you could tell. I mean, the fact that you're in Hex and in Pulsechain and in Pulsex, you clearly saw the vision, and that this guy is not like anything we've ever seen before. So
I gotta say, bro, I love Richard. There's a lot of things I disagree with him on, like sometimes when he's on stream. But like one of the only reasons that I'm in Hex is because of him, and because I saw that, like, to take something like this, like, to the top, it really matters who's spearheading it, like who's behind it, who's running the shit.
right.
And when I saw his streams and I saw how passionate he was, like, he literally gets emotional in some of his streams, bro. Like he's human, Like, I was actually watching one of them yesterday of him before he launched Hex, and he was like still in the stages of, like, nobody believes in what he's doing. He's kind of like going against the grain with the Bitcoin maxis. He just removed Bitcoin off of the name of Hex. He used to be called Bitcoin Hex.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck this, I'm not going to call it Bitcoin Hex anymore. And he was talking about it. And I can hear in his voice, like, he was like not nervous, but he was just passionate, and like you could hear it in his tone. And
You're
I was
absolutely
like, wow, like, he was like really just going against everybody, and like that's why I like believe in him a lot, is and that's why I believe in Hex a lot, is because he's behind it. But not everybody's gonna agree with everything that he says or does, but like at the end of the day, his community's the most important thing to him, and his reputation. So
Yeah, he's got
like you could see that right away.
He's got the big stuff right. He's got the real important stuff right. Like staying away from the shit that went to zero. That's I don't give a fuck what else he said wrong or what else people disagree with. Like telling people to stay away from the actual shit that went to zero that everybody was in. That was that's good enough for me. I mean, damn, what else does a brother got to do?
What else does he got to do? Exactly, bro. You hit the nail on the head. What the fuck else does he got to do to convince us that he's the guy? He knows how this shit works. He's the one who knows how it works. It's not much more he has to do for me to realize that. I see the light. And man, dude, like I think it's gonna reward us in way more ways than we can imagine.
I mean, here's how dense I am with it. When he was talking about the dangers of Celsius and Terra Luna and FTX a year, 18 months in advance, I didn't know what he was talking about. I'm such a peanut brain. I just said, okay. I Forrest Gumped it and said, okay, I won't do those. Cool. And it was final for me. I just didn't let him enter my brain again. And then all of a sudden, collapse. I said, did Richard say that shit for real? Did he really? Nexo collapse, you know, but I didn't. It wasn't like I went, let me look at this and do some research. No, I said, okay. He said, don't do it, so I won't. Real simple.
Bingo.
And sure enough, it all went to shit. And tons. My buddy got wrecked in Terra Luna for $300,000. No.
Damn.
Now don't cry about it. He's loaded. He's a multimillionaire. But still, you know, he was in crypto for 6 years and he's even right now with no crypto. It's like, God, dude, what were you doing?
Damn.
You know.
Damn, bro.
But he wasn't. I'll tell you who he wasn't listening to. Me or Richard. Not even on the radar because he knew better. So that's where it pays dividends. Listening to the really, really important things.
Yeah. I mean, Richard's, he's proved himself to me many times, especially after watching the collapse of Celsius and FTX and stuff. And he was calling it from the beginning. I don't know what more do people want? What more do you want to hear? I mean, this guy, you know, and then here's another thing for me that lets me know he's legit is the fact that he's even still here. Like, he already made people rich. Like, he's rich himself, and he's still here tweeting for us. It's like, why the fuck would he do that?
Yeah.
He wasn't really trying to help people.
Imagine a 4-year-old scam where the scam is so long, you actually build another scam to scam harder. It's like, wait, what? I'm building Pulsechain to scam you not just your original coins. I'm going to scam your copies of the coins, guys.
Bro,
what are people on?
That's literally people's argument these days is like, oh, this is the longest scam that has ever happened. Like, dude, are you serious? Come on, man. What the like, how are you going to say this is the longest scam that's ever happened? And in the process, a lot of people made money. Like,
and you know what's crazy? Like, why does he get a different set of criteria or a different set of rules to play by? Because, you know, Satoshi's coins sit there. Nobody talks about him. Nobody says anything about him. If coins from that account were to sell today, nobody would care about that or the price. All people would be more interested in is, oh my God, that guy's actually still alive, or somebody has access to his coins. That's crazy, right? Nobody would care about him actually selling it. Vitalik sells coins all the time. Nobody fucking talks about it. So even if one day Richard was like, hey guys, I'm gonna sell in billion hex, but you know, everyone else is millionaires, you guys mind? Like, what is he supposed to do? Never sell anything? That's stupid.
My goals for when Pulsechain and Pulsex do their thing and we all max out and become the millionaires we want to be I want to be Diddy. I want to be P. Diddy, man. I want to start a record label and manage a bunch of young artists and make them superstars. You know what I mean? Write music and produce stuff. And that's my goal. But yeah, that'd be awesome.